This is the Louie T Network.
In the lab room.
Who else could it be? For me, your me. Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room, of course. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on this program on the first ever In the Lab Room Louie T Network All Rookie Team. I thought it was only fitting that I come up with my own all rookie team because I follow these guys so closely, because I cover the draft so adeptly throughout the entire process. I break down each and every single team's draft during the draft wrap-up series. I actually had a portion of my podcast dedicated to just the rookies. If you have been listening all season, the Rookie Wall. I cover these guys and I follow them so closely throughout the course of the season that it's only right that I give them the credit that they deserve, that they've earned throughout the course of their rookie season by giving them the honors of being on this list, the all-rookie team. So I'll do an offensive rookie team, a defensive rookie team, and we'll move on. So without any further ado, let's get right to the proceedings this evening. We'll start on the offensive side of the football, and you have to start with the marquee position, that being, of course, as we all know, quarterback. And this was a two-man race going into the season. There wasn't going to be any other rookie quarterbacks getting a bunch of snaps. This was going to be between the number 1 pick overall in the draft, Jameis Winston, and the number 2 overall selection in the 2015 NFL draft, that being Marcus Mariota of the Tennessee Titans. And because Marcus Mariota simply could not stay healthy in his rookie season, and because Jameis Winston played lights out football, you know who the quarterback on the Louie T Network all-rookie team is. Of course, it's none other than quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jameis Winston. You look at Jameis Winston and his accolades. Started all 16 games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in his rookie season. Threw for over 4,000 yards, which is a feat in itself. 4,042 yards to be exact. 22 touchdowns, 15 INTs, which is a hell of a season for a rookie. Keep in mind, we thought that the one problem that Jameis Winston was going to have in his rookie campaign was going to be turnovers. This was a guy that had a bunch of turnovers, a bunch of interceptions last season in his final year at Florida State. And we thought that was going to carry over into the National Football League. You were going to be able to trick him into making some mistakes. He was going to start pressing when his team was behind and make some mistakes and give the other team chances and opportunities to make him pay for those mistakes. And it started out that way. He turned the football over in his first couple of games, and he really kind of settled in, realized what his team needed from him. It always helps when your running back in Doug Martin is having a hell of a season, a comeback year type of season where he rushes for over 1,000 yards and you can turn around and hand him the football. It takes a lot of pressure off of a rookie quarterback. And I thought Lovie Smith and Dirk Cutter and company did a really good job of not putting too much on the plate of one Jameis Winston. A lot of handoffs and a lot of play action fake off those handoffs to give him some clear windows to throw into. And I thought he did a really good job in his rookie season. And thus, he is the all-rookie team quarterback on the Louie T Network all-rookie team. You go to the running back position, and this is a no-brainer, a no doubt about it type of pick. At the running back position, there was one back that eclipsed all rookie runners in 2015, and that, of course, is St. Louis Rams running back Todd Gurley. He's an all-true man, yeah, baby. Don't you call him Gurley. He's an all-true man. It's Todd Gurley. Played in 13 games, and despite missing 3 contests at the very beginning of the year, remember, he came into his rookie campaign nursing the ACL tear from Georgia in his final season at the University of Georgia. And so he came in missed the first couple of games, and maybe he could have played to start the season, but the Rams wanted to make sure that this guy, their first round draft pick, was totally healthy before putting him on the field in harm's way. So he missed the first 3 contests, but after that, this man came in like a man on a mission, dicing up the National Football League, and I thought he made his name and presence felt. In that Arizona Cardinals game early in the season, rushed for over 100 yards on the road versus that vaunted Cardinals defense en route to a Rams victory in Arizona. From that point on, he was a known commodity in this league, and he continued to rip the league apart. 1,106 rushing yards, the first Rams running back to rush for over 1,000 yards since Steven Jackson, and they've been looking for a guy to come in and be the guy since Steven Jackson has departed St. Louis, and they found their man in Todd Gurley. 10 touchdowns on the season, and also 5 runs of over 40 yards. That was the best of any rookie this season by far. He was a guy that could hit the home run. He made big plays for this Rams offense. It was part of the reason why they were able to resurrect their season and turn it around towards the end. Todd Gurley, a big major factor in the Rams offensive attack. He is the Louie T Network all rookie running back this season. Fullback position, it's a dying position in this league. Not a lot of rookie fullbacks of which to speak of, but there was one that I thought went out, and you can't really measure fullbacks statistically because they just don't get a lot of touches. And in this league where the fullback position is slowly dying and being phased out, and it's good to see a guy like Tennessee Titans fullback Jalston Fowler be on this list. Played in all 16 games, and I was a little nervous for him because early in the season versus the Indianapolis Colts on a 2-point conversion, he went down in a heap. It looked nasty. I thought he had torn his ACL for sure. He went down clutching his knee. It was premature. It wasn't as bad as it looked on the field. He was able to tough out that injury, come back and play all 16 games. Had 12 total touches. Of those 12 total touches, 2 of them were touchdowns. So he's a guy that I think over time the Titans will realize that he's a versatile fullback. You can hand it to him if need be. And much like he did at Alabama, he caught a bunch of passes out of the backfield. I think he'll be a bigger part of their offense if they see the different talents that he possesses and maybe be able to put him into the offensive game plan a little bit more. But he was the best rookie fullback in my estimation this season, and because of that, he is on the Louie T All-Rookie team. Wide receiver. 2 wide receivers on this offensive rookie team, and you know you got to start with the #1 rookie drafted in the 2015 NFL Draft. Of course, I'm talking about none other than when the ball's in the sky and your QB needs a guy, it's somebody. Amari Cooper, the Oakland Raiders, first-round draft choice out of Alabama. Back-to-back Alabama Crimson Tide members on the Louie T All-Rookie team. Started all 16 games for the Oakland Raiders, 72 grabs, 1,070 yards for Amari Cooper, the first Raider to go over 1,000 yards since one Randy Moss did it eons ago. So it's been a while since the Raiders have had a reliable target to get the football to. Amari Cooper was that for them this season. Now, he did have a bunch of drops this season, and that's something he's going to have to focus in on, being a lot more focused and concentrating on catching the football before he tries to make a secondary move with the ball. Got to catch the football first. You know the rules to the game, then play, young man. Can't run and gun and have fun and ball without the ball. And so hopefully he'll clean that up in his sophomore campaign. 6 touchdowns though for Amari Cooper on the season, and 6 grabs of over 40 yards or more. He was outstanding in that department, making some really big plays for this Raiders offense in his rookie campaign. Amari Cooper on the Louie T Network All-Rookie team. His running mate at the receiver position is a guy that came off the pace as a 5th-round draft choice. No one was really talking about this player, but he came in, made a huge difference on his football team and helped them not only make the postseason, but clinch their first NFC North title since 2009. I'm talking about Minnesota Vikings receiver Stefon Diggs, a.k.a. Swag Dizzle. Playing in 13 games for the Minnesota Vikings this season. 52 catches on the season for 720 yards and 4 touchdowns. And probably his best stat, 13 catches of 20 yards or more for Stefon Diggs on the season. In a Vikings offense that is very limited, that doesn't ask a lot of Teddy Bridgewater, that is very run dependent, for him to come in, have the type of impact that he did. And I think his best game might have been out in Detroit when he went off on the Lions, made a spectacular dive and stab in the end zone. I think that was probably one of his highlight reel catches on the season and probably his best game of the season, as they were able to go into Detroit. Teddy Bridgewater over 300 yards passing in that game, and a large part of the reason why Stefon Diggs, aka Swag Dizzle, stepping into that lineup really gave this offense a shot in the arm. And I think that he's going to be their #1 receiver in that offense moving forward. Big time season for Stefon Diggs in his rookie campaign, which landed him on the Louie T Network all rookie team. You go to the tight end position, and this wasn't a very glamorous position going into the draft. In fact, the first tight end was not taken off the board until the 2nd round by the Baltimore Ravens, that being Max Williams. So this was a crop of tight ends that was underwhelming going into the draft. And you saw some guys that you thought maybe they could come of age over time. And here's one of those guys that really caught my attention, and I think he's going to be a football player moving forward. And I like some of the things he was able to do in the Oakland Raiders offense. I'm talking about young tight end Clive Walford for the Oakland Raiders. Played in all 16 games, 28 catches, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 5 catches of over 20 yards in his rookie campaign. I think he's a guy that they started to work into the offensive game plan more and more as the season wore on. And he's a guy that I really like. He's a big target. He can catch the football. I think he can block a lot better than people gave him credit for coming into the league. And so I think he's a guy that the Raiders are really excited about moving forward. And I was very impressed with his rookie campaign coming out of the U. Clive Walford, to me, is going to be a pass-catching threat for this Raiders football team, and a dual threat at that, because I think he can block a lot better than people give him credit for in the run game as well. Let's go to the big nasties down in the trenches. Without these 5 guys, those other guys, the skill players, aren't making plays. Let's talk about the best of the rookie class of 2015 along the offensive line. We start at left tackle, the glamorous position along the offensive line. And to me, it's not even close who the best offensive rookie tackle was this season, and arguably the best offensive lineman that was a rookie this season. Out in Tampa Bay, they drafted Jameis Winston #1 overall, and when you draft a quarterback that high in the draft, and it's going to make him your franchise QB, you need to protect him at the left tackle position. And the Buccaneers did that by following up their first overall selection with their second selection of rookie tackle Donovan Smith. And I thought he came in and he solidified the left tackle position for them in ways that I don't know if they could have imagined when they selected him in the 2015 draft in the 2nd round with their first pick of the 2nd round. Now, you look at Donovan Smith, he started all 16 games. But the thing that was staggering to me is that there were 5 first-round tackles, projected tackles, taken in the 2015 NFL draft. None of them started all 16 games. At tackle, you had Brandon Scherff go first off the board. Redskins drafted him to be right tackle. They moved him to right guard. The rest is history. You look at Eric Flowers, New York Giants, banged up in and out of the lineup. When he was in, he was effective, but he was out for a majority of the season dealing with injuries. You look at Andrews Pete, a guy that I wasn't high on throughout the draft process, and obviously the Saints figured out probably better served as a guard, not a tackle, and so he didn't play a bunch of games, and he was kicked inside to guard for the Saints. You look at DJ Humphries, another guy that the Cardinals drafted out of Florida, young football player. To me, was a little raw coming out of Florida, but very athletic, a guy that they feel good about. And so he was a guy that was going to get an opportunity with Bobby Massey being suspended early in the season. He hurts himself, doesn't get an opportunity. Bobby Massey comes back, solidifies that right tackle position. We don't really hear from DJ Humphries the rest of the season. And also, you look at a guy like Cameron Irving out of Florida State, going to the Cleveland Browns. They had so many guys out along the offensive line, Alex Mack in particular, so he was playing all kinds of positions, center, you name it, he did it. Didn't start at tackle necessarily, and I don't think they drafted Cameron Irving to be a tackle necessarily. I think they feel like he's going to be their center for years to come after Alex Mack is no longer there. So look, 5 offensive linemen that were slated to be tackles drafted in the first round. The first tackle off the board in the second round, Donovan Smith, comes in, outshines all of them. He's on the Louie T Network all rookie squad as the best left tackle in this draft class this season. Left guard, and there was no definitive left guard. I really liked what Jamon Brown was doing out in St. Louis, but he got injured, missed half of the season, so he really hurt himself getting on this list. But I had 2 right guards, and I'm going to make one of them a left guard, and I'm going to take A.J. Cann, guard out of Jacksonville, as my left guard on the Louie T Network all-rookie team. Thought he had a tremendous rookie campaign, played in 14 games this season, started 13 of them at right guard, and a lot of people thought he was a plug-and-play guard coming out of South Carolina, and he proved to be that after they gave him an opportunity to get into the lineup. And once he got in, he did not relinquish that spot and helped pave the way for TJ Yeldon and his solid rookie campaign. And he also helped Blake Bortles throw for the most yardage he's thrown for in his entire career, having a career year, and those receivers out there that Allen Bros having their career years that they had, a lot of that could be attributed to the offensive line and the protection that was afforded to Blake Bortles, allowing him to get the football out of his hands. And a guy like A.J. Cann and his contribution to that offensive line cannot be understated. And so he's a guy on the Louie T Network all-rookie team for the 2015 season. Look at center, and this was probably the biggest surprise of all of the guys on this list. Did not see this one coming. At the center position, the Kansas City Chiefs selected Mitch Morse in the second round as a tackle out of Mizzou. When you talk about Andy Reid and his love for interior offensive linemen, there was a reason why the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line was in such great shape when Andy Reid left the Eagles. It was because he loved to draft offensive linemen, specifically interior offensive linemen. You look at Jason Kelsey at center, you look at Todd Hermans at guard, and at the other guard position, all-pro in Evan Mathis. You're talking about one of the better interior offensive lines put together in the last 5 to 7 years. And there's a reason why Andy Reid loves to collect offensive linemen, because if you can protect up front in the interior of your offensive line, you're going to be able to do some good things, not only in the run game, but also throwing the football. And drafting Mitch Morse as a tackle out of Mizzou, and not only kicking him inside, a lot of people, including myself, thought that he was going to kick inside as a guard at the next level. Andy Reid said, I'll do you one better, kick him inside one more gap to center, and he came in and he was a revelation for the Kansas City Chiefs this season, starting 15 games at center and missed the final 3 games of the season, the last game of the season and the 2 playoff games due to a concussion. But this guy was outstanding for the Kansas City Chiefs, probably one of the bigger surprises on this list. Mitch Morse, center for the Kansas City Chiefs, is your Louie T Network all-rookie team center. You go on to the right guard position, and I talked about having 2 guards, both of them being right guards, but I kicked A.J. Cann to the left guard position. Well, this guy was drafted to be a right tackle, slated to be a right tackle, the first offensive lineman off the board. Didn't pan out the way that the Redskins intended when they drafted him, but as long as this guy's a good football player, I don't think anybody will complain about getting 16 starts out of a mauler like Brandon Scherff. At the guard position, watch the Redskins really pleased with Brandon Scherff and what he was able to provide for them on the offensive line. They feel like they have the right side of their offensive line set for years to come, with Morgan Moses at right tackle and now Brandon Scherff holding down that right guard position. Started all 16 games for the Redskins, did a masterful job at times and holding down that right guard position. There's some things he's going to have to work on. It was a transition for him. Remember, this guy was a big-time left tackle at Iowa. Played left tackle, played right tackle. And to get kicked inside the guard, there's a transition there that has to be made, but he made it seamlessly. And so this is a guy that I think there's a bunch of room for growth, but he's only going to get better as time progresses, and the Redskins can't be any more pleased with his production at the guard position after making the switch from tackle to guard. Brandon Scherff on the Louie T Network, all rookie team as a right guard, making all 16 starts for the Washington Redskins and helping them get back to the postseason, winning the NFC East. Right tackle position, this is another no-brainer. Anytime you have a guy that starts 16 games and was not slated to start, when you pick a guy in the 5th round, you're expecting him to be a little bit of a project, a guy that you're going to have to work with over time, and you're going to be able to bring him along at the rate of speed that you want, and you get to fine-tune his skills and mold him into the type of player that you want him to be. Well, that wasn't an opportunity afforded to the Minnesota Vikings, as Phil Lodeholt went down in the preseason and in-stepped the right tackle on the Louie T Network all-rookie team. Of course, I'm talking about TJ Clemmings, Minnesota Vikings, right tackle. Coming out of Pitt, I thought he had some excellent feet. He was a great athlete, and I said the sky's the limit for this guy. He's going to need some time to adapt to the league, but I said, I see left tackle written all over this guy when it's all said and done. If he can get all of the mechanics down and gain a little bit of strength, I said, this guy has everything you're looking for in a left tackle because of his athleticism. Well, the Vikings had to find that out sooner rather than later, sticking him in at the right tackle position because of the aforementioned injury to Phil Lodeholt. He stepped in. He wasn't great all the time, but he was very serviceable for a team that wound up winning 11 games and winning their division and hosting a playoff game. You got to give a lot of credit to a guy like TJ Clemmings for stepping into a tough situation and helping them not only win the division, but paving the way for the NFL's leading rusher in Adrian Peterson. TJ Clemmings deserves a lot of credit for stepping into a tough situation and really helping this Vikings offense along and not allowing them to miss a beat. And so, because of his play, starting all 16 games and really helping fortify that right side of the offensive line in Phil Lodeholt's absence, TJ Clemmings is the right tackle on the Louie T Network all-rookie team. And just so you know, the offensive rookie of the year, without a doubt, is none other than Rams running back Todd Gurley. He's an all-true man, yeah, baby. So, that's my offensive all-rookie team. We'll go over to the defensive side of the football and see who was able to crack the Louie T Network all-rookie team.
There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie T, be sure to follow me on Twitter at InTheLabRoom, or you can like the Facebook page at InTheLabRoom. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.